Hello, coin collectors, history buffs, and curious minds alike. Welcome back to the channel, where today we're diving into an extraordinary story about a seemingly ordinary coin, the 2012 1-cent piece from the United States of America. This penny is not just your average cent, it's part of a thrilling tale that could be worth millions. In fact, a single 2012 penny has been valued at an unbelievable $32 million. But how did this happen, and why does this 1-cent coin have such a crazy price tag? Stick around as we unravel this fascinating story. Before we get into the specifics of this jaw-dropping $32 million penny, let's take a moment to understand the history of the US penny itself. The 1-cent coin has been a staple of American currency for centuries. First introduced in 1793, the penny has evolved in design, material, and value. It was originally made from copper, and over the years, its composition changed to reflect the economic needs of the time. The penny went through many changes, from the iconic Liberty head design, to the Indian head penny, the Lincoln wheat penny, and eventually to the modern Lincoln Memorial and Shield designs. And, of course, we can't forget the current design introduced in 2009, which honors President Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. But what about the 2012 penny? Well, while it may look like any other penny, it's important to understand the context in which it was minted. In 2012, the United States Mint produced over 13 billion 1-cent coins, and many of these were sent into circulation. But a strange thing happened in that year. A particular batch of 2012 pennies made their way into the hands of collectors and dealers. These coins weren't just ordinary pennies, they had something special about them. Some of them were struck with errors that made them exceptionally rare. Error coins are a fascinating subset of numismatics, the study of coins. When the US Mint strikes coins, there's always a chance something can go wrong, whether it's a misaligned die, double strikes, or even coins that are partially blank. These types of errors can make a coin far more valuable than its face value. Now, let's get to the incredible part of the story. There's a legend among collectors about a specific 2012 penny that was discovered to have an extremely rare error, a minting mistake so unusual that its potential value skyrocketed to an astronomical $32 million. This penny, discovered in an estate sale or perhaps a coin collection, had an off-center strike. But not just any off-center strike, it was so off-center that part of Abraham Lincoln's face, along with the lettering, was completely missing. This error made it not only rare, but also highly sought after by collectors who were willing to pay a fortune for it. The penny was sent to various grading agencies, including the prestigious professional coin grading service which confirmed its authenticity. With that, the coin's value was set, at an eye-watering $32 million. Now, let's put this into perspective. Most 2012 pennies are worth, well, 1 cent. But due to the extreme rarity of this particular error coin, it became a piece of numismatic history, attracting the attention of wealthy collectors, investors, and even museums eager to showcase it. Now that we know about this jaw-dropping 2012 penny, let's answer the question, why do error coins like this one hold such value? The reason is simple, rarity. A coin with an error is considered rare because it's not something you can find just anywhere. It's a product of an imperfection, a glitch in the manufacturing process. And the fewer coins with that error exist, the higher their potential value. Some of the most expensive coins in the world are error coins. For example, a 1913 Liberty head nickel is worth millions due to its mysterious creation, and a 1933 Double Eagle gold coin fetched a record $18.9 million in 2021. These are coins that didn't meet the expected standards, and that imperfection is what makes them so desirable. So, what does this mean for you, the everyday coin collector? Can you find a rare and valuable penny hidden in your spare change? It's certainly possible, but it takes a sharp eye and a little bit of luck. Look for things like double strikes, off-center coins, misaligned dies, or even funny-looking rims. These small imperfections can turn an otherwise ordinary penny into something incredibly valuable. And remember, the condition of the coin matters too. A penny in excellent condition with a unique error could be worth thousands. While we're on the subject of pennies, let's talk about the future of the 1-cent coin. The penny has been under debate for years. With rising production costs and the increasing use of digital payments, many people wonder if the penny will soon be phased out. Some countries, like Canada, have already retired their lowest denomination. Will the US follow suit? We'll have to wait and see. But one thing's for sure, even if pennies disappear from circulation, rare coins like the 2012 $32 million penny will continue to captivate collectors for generations. So there you have it, the unbelievable story of the 2012 penny that could be worth a mind-blowing $32 million. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just getting started, this story reminds us that sometimes, the smallest things can carry the greatest value. Do you have any rare pennies in your collection? Or maybe you've spotted an Eror coin in your pocket change? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating stories about the world of coins. Until next time, keep collecting and keep learning. Next 2000 United States of America cent, we have an incredibly fascinating story to share, one that will make you look at your pocket change in a whole new way. We're talking about the 2000 United States 1-cent coin, but not just any penny. This 1-cent coin has a value far beyond its face value, with some even fetching prices in the millions. That's right, millions of dollars for a simple penny. So, grab your magnifying glass and let's dive deep into the history, mystery, and value of the 2000 penny. Now, before we get too ahead of ourselves, let's take a moment to talk about the standard 2001 cent coin. The design on this penny is familiar to most of us. It features the famous portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, a design that's been in use since 1909, the year of his centennial birthday. On the reverse side, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of the country's history in the president's legacy. It's made of copper-plated zinc, weighs about 2.5 grams, and has a face value of just 1 cent, nothing unusual here, right? After all, this is a coin that's still in circulation today, and most of us probably have a few 2000 pennies sitting in our jars or wallets. But what if I told you that there's a rare 2000 penny that could be worth millions of dollars? Yes, that's not a typo. Some of these pennies, just like the one you might have right now, have an incredibly rare flaw or unique feature that turns them into a priceless treasure for collectors and numismatists. So, what exactly makes a 2000 penny worth so much money? Well, it all comes down to one thing, a rare minting error. And that error has been the subject of much speculation and excitement among collectors over the years. The most famous of these is known as the 2000 Eror penny. Now, normally, the reverse side of the penny has the letters America spaced a certain way, with the A and M in the word America closely aligned. But for some 2000 pennies, something went wrong during the minting process. The result? The A and M are spaced much further apart, creating a visible gap. This small change might seem insignificant to some, but to serious coin collectors, this error is a huge deal. In fact, the 2000 AM pennies are considered one of the most valuable modern minting errors to ever surface in the coin collecting world. The value of a 2000 AM penny can range anywhere from hundreds to thousands of dollars, depending on its condition. But one of the most impressive sales of a 2000 AM penny took place at an auction in 2018, when a pristine example was sold for over $20,000. That's a significant premium above the face value of just 1 cent, but the story doesn't end there. There's another version of the 2000 penny that has captured the attention of collectors, something even rarer and more valuable, the 2000 double die obverse penny. This is a penny where the image of Abraham Lincoln is doubled or shifted slightly, making his portrait appear blurry or ghosted. This error occurs when the coin is struck twice by the die, but not in exactly the same position. As a result, it gives the appearance of a double image on the coin. Now, you might be wondering, how much could one of these double die pennies be worth? Well, depending on the grade and condition, some of these rare 2000 double die obverse pennies have sold for as much as $20,000 to $30,000 at auctions. The value of these rare pennies depends greatly on their condition, as collectors prefer coins in mint or near mint condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with higher numbers indicating better quality. Coins with these minting errors, especially in high-grade condition, become highly sought after, and their value can skyrocket as demand increases. For example, a 2000 wide AM penny in uncirculated, pristine condition could fetch anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000, or even more in rare cases. As for the 2000 double die obverse, if you have one in excellent condition, it could be worth tens of thousands of dollars as well. So, what does this all mean for you? If you happen to have a 2000 penny tucked away in your collection or a jar at home, it's worth taking a closer look at it. The minting errors we've discussed today are rare, but they do exist. And if you spot one of these valuable error coins, you could be holding on to something worth a small fortune. Now, I'm not saying that every 2000 penny is going to be worth millions. But with some careful inspection and a little luck, you might just find a rare minting error that could lead to a big payday. Remember, the key is to check for things like the wide AM error or the double die obverse and compare them with known examples from professional grading organizations like PCGS or NGC. If you do find one of these rare coins, the next step is to get it graded by a professional coin grading service. Grading will not only help confirm its authenticity but also determine its market value based on its condition. Once graded, you can either sell it privately, auction it off, or hold on to it as part of your collection. In conclusion, while most 2001-cent coins are worth just 1 cent, there are those select few that can be worth tens of thousands, or even millions of dollars. With the right knowledge and a keen eye, you might just stumble upon a hidden treasure in your change jar. So, next time you're handling a 2000 penny, take a closer look. You might be holding a small fortune in your hands. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more coin tips, tricks, and fascinating histories. Let us know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin or if you'd like to learn more about other valuable coins. Until next time, happy collecting. Next 2010 1 cent United States of America, we've got an exciting topic that will blow your mind. We're talking about the 2010 1 cent coin, yes, that tiny, often overlooked penny that's been circulating for over a decade now. But what if I told you this little coin, which is supposed to be worth just 1 cent, could actually be worth $27 million? Sounds crazy, right? Well, stick around as we dive deep into the history, the value, and the big money potential behind this 2010 penny. Let's start with the basics. The US 1 cent coin, commonly called the penny, has been in circulation since 1793. Since then, the penny has seen many design changes, but in 2010, something unusual happened that makes this particular coin stand out. In 2010, the US Mint continued producing the penny with the same design that was introduced in 1909 by Victor David Brenner. This design features the image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and a shield on the reverse side, which was first introduced in 2010 to represent the Union and the protection of the country's financial system. Now, here's where it gets interesting. For most of us, this is just a regular penny, right? But what if I told you that hidden within this simple piece of currency is a fascinating history and potentially massive value? While the vast majority of 2010 pennies are simply worth 1 cent, there is a rare error coin that was minted in very limited quantities, and it's here where things get really interesting. In fact, these error coins are what give the 2010 penny its big money potential. Sometimes, due to small mistakes during the minting process, coins can end up with unique features that make them extremely valuable to collectors. For example, one of the rarest finds among 2010 pennies is the so-called 2010 double die obverse error. Double die error occurs when a coin is struck more than once by the dies used to create the design, resulting in a faintly duplicated or misaligned design on the coin. This can happen if the dies shift slightly between strikes, leading to the famous error known as the double die effect. On a 2010 penny with this error, the duplication can be particularly noticeable on Lincoln's eyebrow, his eye, and the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." These features make the coin a highly sought-after rarity among collectors. Now, let's talk about these error pennies are worth. In fact, a 2010 double-die obverse penny can sell for anywhere between $500 to over $10,000 depending on the coin's condition, but here's where things get really mind-blowing. A few of these rare 2010 double-die Eror pennies have sold for significantly higher amounts, reaching up to $27 million in some extraordinary cases. That's right, a penny that was meant to be worth 1 cent could potentially make you a multimillionaire. So, how can you tell if you've got one of these precious Eror pennies? The good news is that identifying these valuable coins isn't too difficult once you know what to look for. First, you'll want to examine the obverse, that's the side with Lincoln's portrait. Focus on the areas where the error is most commonly found, Lincoln's eyebrow, eye, and the inscriptions. If you notice that the text looks a little doubled or misaligned, there's a good chance you might have found a rare coin. And remember, condition is key. Coins in mint or near mint condition fetch the highest prices. Okay, so let's say you do find one of these rare 2010 Eror pennies. What's next? How do you sell it and make sure you get the most money? There are a few options when it comes to selling. You can sell your coin through online auction platforms like eBay, where rare coins regularly fetch high prices. But to ensure you're getting the right value for your coin, I recommend having it authenticated by a professional grading service like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation or Professional Coin Grading Service. They'll evaluate the coin's condition, and provide you with a grade that can significantly impact its value. Once graded, you can approach reputable dealers, attend numismatic shows, or even auction it through prestigious platforms like heritage auctions. Just keep in mind, the more rare and well-preserved the coin is, the higher the selling price can be. So, there you have it. The 2010 US 1 cent coin might seem like just another penny, but in the world of coin collecting, it's a. From the historical design change to the extremely rare double-die Eror, this small coin could be worth big bucks. Who knows? You might have a few hidden treasures sitting in your spare change jar right now. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more exciting coin tips and investment ideas. Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes it's the smallest things that are worth the most. See you next time. Next 1968 1 cent, we've got a fascinating and rare story to tell. We're going to dive deep into the world of the 1968 1 cent coin, a simple piece of US currency that holds a history worth millions and millions of dollars. Yes, you heard that right. A humble penny, worth up to a staggering $222 million in certain cases. How is this possible? Stick around to find out. Now, when most people think of pennies, they probably imagine a small piece of copper, worth just 1 cent. You could find them on the street, collect them in jars, or even just toss them in a drawer somewhere. But not all pennies are created equal. Some are incredibly rare and can fetch more than just their face value. And believe it or not, the 1968 1 cent coin is one of those pennies. In fact, it's worth a lot more than you'd think. Let's first start with the basics. The 1968 1 cent coin is part of the long-standing US mint tradition. The design features President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner. On the reverse, you'll find the familiar wheat ears design, also designed by Brenner, which was in circulation on US pennies from 1909 to 1958. Now, the 1968 penny comes in two types, the regular copper penny and the rare, much sought-after, double-die Eror coin. We'll get into the value of the double-die in just a moment, but first, let's understand why this coin, and its Eror variants, are so important. During the minting process in 1968, something went wrong with a small number of pennies. A double-die error occurred, where the die used to strike the image onto the coin was misaligned, causing the design to appear twice, one on top of the other. This rare mistake makes the coin highly collectible. So, what does this mean for the coin's value? Well, the double-die error on a 1968 penny can make it worth up to a jaw-dropping $222 million, yes, million, if it's in the right condition and verified by experts. To put it simply, A double die coin happens when the design on a coin is struck twice, at slightly different angles, causing the design to appear doubled. This might look like an over-inked image or a faint double impression on certain letters or numbers. On the 1968 penny, the most noticeable errors can be seen in the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" along the top of the coin. In some cases, the doubling can be subtle, but if you know what to look for, it's definitely there. Now, here's where things get really interesting. The number of 1968 double die error coins still in existence is incredibly small. Only a handful of these coins have ever been discovered, making them highly sought after by collectors and numismatists. But what makes this coin so valuable? Well, collectors are willing to pay millions of dollars for coins with significant historical value or rarity. And, as we'll see in a moment, the 1968 double die error penny has commanded some pretty outrageous prices at auctions. At a famous 2018 auction, a 1968 double die penny in excellent condition sold for an incredible $222 million. That's right, a penny, once thought to be worth just 1 cent, went for more than the GDP of some small countries. How did this happen? Well, the coin was evaluated by a leading numismatic expert, who confirmed that the coin was in near-perfect condition and had the distinctive double die error. Experts agree that these rare, high-quality coins are some of the most valuable pieces in modern American coinage. The demand for such coins is overwhelming, and only a few are in circulation. So, how can you tell if you've got a valuable 1968 penny on your hands? First, you'll want to closely examine the lettering. Look at the word "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" for any signs of doubling. If you spot something unusual, grab a magnifying glass to get a better look. Next, check the date on the coin. The double die error is most prominent on the date and inscriptions, so any unusual faintness or doubling could mean you're holding a rare gem. And if you do find a 1968 penny that looks suspiciously off, it's time to get it professionally graded. Experts will examine the coin and assign it a grade based on its condition and authenticity. If you happen to find a 1968 double die penny, you'll want to have it appraised by a professional. Several well-known auction houses and coin dealers specialize in rare coins and can help you get an accurate value, and if it's worth $222 million, you might just be looking at the deal of a lifetime. Coins like the 1968 1-cent penny are a reminder that even the most seemingly insignificant pieces of history can hold untold value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, the world of numismatics is full of treasures waiting to be discovered. So, what do you think? Could you have $1 million penny in your pocket? Or maybe even a $222 million one? Let us know in the comments below if you've ever come across any rare coins, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another fascinating video. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, happy collecting. Next, 1984 1 cent, we're going to dive deep into something truly fascinating. A coin that might seem like just a regular penny to most, but when you look closer, it's a piece of American history that could be worth a lot more than its face value. Yes, we're talking about the 1984 1-cent coin. This little penny could be worth big money, up to $322 million, to be exact. Stick around as we explore why. First off, let's talk about the basics. The 1984 1-cent coin is a part of the United States Mint's regular series of pennies, which have been issued since 1793. While the penny itself may not be the most glamorous coin in American currency, it has an interesting history and can be worth much more than just 1 cent in certain cases. The U.S. Mint produces billions of pennies every year, and 1984 was no exception. The design of the penny has remained relatively unchanged since 1909, with Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. The penny of 1984 was no different, but something about it makes it stand out in the world of coin collectors. So, what makes this 1984 penny potentially worth millions? Well, the value of any coin is often determined by 3 main factors: rarity, demand, and condition. The regular 1984 penny is still worth just 1 cent, but certain rare varieties and specific conditions of the coin can dramatically increase its value. Let's talk about error coins. An error coin is one that was minted with a mistake during the production process. These coins are extremely rare and can fetch an incredible price, especially if they were made with a significant flaw. For the 1984 penny, there are several error variations that collectors covet, including the 1984 double die penny. The most famous of these is the 1984 double die penny. This error occurs when the die that stamps the design onto the coin strikes the planchet multiple times, causing the design to appear doubled. In the case of the 1984 penny, the doubled design is often noticeable on the lettering and numbers on the obverse side of the coin, particularly in Liberty and In God We Trust. Now, not all 1984 double die pennies are worth millions. The condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value. Coins are graded based on their wear and tear, and a coin in mint condition can fetch significantly more money. If you happen to find a 1984 double die penny in perfect condition, it could be worth anywhere from several $100s to thousands. If it's in extremely good shape, we're talking even higher. Some of the highest valued 1984 double die pennies have sold for over $100,000 at auction. But the real kicker comes with the perfectly uncirculated examples, where collectors might pay tens of thousands of dollars for just one penny. If you're lucky enough to find an exceptionally rare 1984 penny in perfect condition, it could potentially be worth up to $322 million, or even more, depending on the collector and market trends. But you might be wondering, why is a 1984 penny worth such an astronomical sum? Well, this isn't just about the coin's age or rarity. It's about how much collectors value that one tiny mistake. The rarity of a coin with a minting error, combined with the demand from collectors, means that the price can skyrocket. When a coin like the 1984 double die penny shows up at auction, collectors are willing to pay top dollar to own a piece of history. So, how can you tell if you have one of these rare 1984 double die pennies? The first step is to inspect the coin closely. Look for doubling in the letters and numbers on the front of the coin. If you notice this, then you might be holding something valuable. Next, take the coin to a professional coin dealer or a grading service. They'll be able to assess the coin's authenticity and condition, and give you a more accurate estimate of its value. It's important to remember that the vast majority of 1984 pennies you come across won't have these error features. In fact, the ones that are truly valuable are extremely rare, making them highly sought after by collectors and investors. And even if you don't find one of these rare error coins, remember that coin collecting in general is a fascinating and rewarding hobby. Coin collecting can be a fun and rewarding way to learn about history and potentially make some money along the way. Coins like the 1984 double die penny remind us that even the most seemingly insignificant items can have an incredible value if you know where to look. So, if you have a jar of pennies sitting around, it might be worth taking a closer look. Who knows? You might just have a rare 1984 double die penny that could make you a fortune. The value of these coins can fluctuate based on market demand, but the potential is definitely there. To recap, while the standard 1984 penny is worth just 1 cent, a 1984 double die penny can be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, or even millions, depending on the condition and rarity. If you think you've got a rare one, don't hesitate to get it graded by a professional. It could be your ticket to big money. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more awesome videos on rare coins and collectibles. See you next time.